Hello everybody. I'm gonna do this video in English because I had a lot of messages from followers, friends that have the same question. So I wait that some people are coming in the little chat that I'm gonna have with you. And first I must say that I've been very tired these days. After last Saturday, I think the energies of the 8 were very strong. It's nothing negative. It just it goes also with the evolving spirit process, thinking process. A lot of things are going on, and I connect with a lot of things in my mind. It's like it's really interesting. It's like more I am connected to my body, like I am really much since some months. I told about this exercise that I am doing. I'm going to try to take off my glasses, but I don't see very well like that. I realized I knew it before. The key is in the body. So more I connect with my body, and I do it really, really regularly, first by yoga, but also with this breathing exercise that I am investigating myself, not while following a book or a technique, special technique. I am guided, I guess, by my higher self, by my body, by my being, by what is outside and inside, communicating more and more because I'm present more and more to my body. And the key is there. The body knows. As the body has the planet is made of the same component. So it's about connecting to this natural wisdom. We are as nature, and we are in a way following now the transformation of the planet. It's a lot of things that came to my mind. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to expose that in a clear way, but it can seem there are different layers, there are different levels. At one level, we can think it's terrible what is going on, we are manipulated, blah, 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 blah. But if you elevate yourself, if you take distance and observe and know a little bit about history and know a little bit that there are cycles, you realize that everything is always in perfect order, because everything is impermanent, and in the same time there is something that is timeless. So it's a kind of paradox. As everything is impermanent, everything is moving all the time, is changing all the time, it's difficult to want to hold on the old, to hold on the old way, because it's not in a way going with the process of evolution. And I observe since many months, like you, all what is going on, and it's like, yes, it's really amazing. The organization, I could say, in between these forces that are like obliging us to find a balance. It's also like we've been in an extreme, in a little bit not conscious about what we did for decades, and what we did for decades, the way we lived, the way we studied, the way we went too far in industrialization, in fact brought us where we are today. If we were, and it's again, it's a paradox, we are evolving and there is nothing wrong with where we are in a way today, but in the same time, as we are evolving, where we are today is not satisfying anymore. And when people say, I want to be back to my normal life, it's impossible, because we just enter in a new era last December. It was the beginning. So it's not at all the same way to be that's gonna be. And for us human, the planet is changing, and for us human, we are changing, and what we created and disturb in a way the ecosystem is also the key to desire to develop something else. So what I wanted to say about the message I receive about people who are worried about it's school soon and my kids, I don't want them to have this injection, I don't want them to go and be with a mask, so it can seem easy to say, but if it's important for you and if they are also okay with that, don't send them. Don't send them to school. My granddaughter will not go. 16, if it's mandated, no way. So this is, and for me, I see this in a positive way. I see that these generations that are going to come, they're going to create, invent new ways. Because if the education that people had up to now is bringing the world where it is, I think there is something not working in the education. Because it should not be like that. So something is wrong. So maybe these ones that will not go to school are the ones that are the precursor of new ways to study, different way to study things that are more taking human beings and the planet in globality, not each individual in his little field to make money, to work, to do study for years, pay a loan, to be able to go at school, and after to work to reimburse the loan in a world that is totally upside down and full of nonsense, because we don't go with nature anymore. So maybe, and some understood that. I remember I was still in Paris like 30 years ago. Some people were living in Paris from my island in Corsica, went back to Corsica. And they started to live with nature and do permaculture and raise, different kind of things to make wool, to make cheese, to make essential oils. And they are happy because they are, in a way, they are ready since a long time for what is going on. And something I felt a long time ago, I said we have to quit the cities. And now, more than ever. So, if your children don't want to get what is required to go to school, and if they are really clear with that, and you too, don't be afraid, they will find another way. Because maybe what they would learn at school is not what is right anymore. Because life is changing. It will not be like before anymore. So it's that. It is very important to go with the change, to don't see this in a negative way. All these young people, and I'm in touch with some of them, they are amazing because they are seeing things so lucidly, so wow, it's blow-minding. And they will find new ways. because now we realize that all that has been created, all this run after this product and that thing and that and that and that, we became like, out of breath, and the planet with us. So what happened last year, in fact, was really the starting point to go on something totally different. It's going to take time. It will not be done in one day and even 10 years. But it's what I say to these young people and also to the parents, because I have the feeling the parents are even more worried. Because new ways, it's so evident. Now we are going to use our mind differently, create different things. You can see a little bit in architecture, more, less big houses. People found ways where is the essentials. Create with others in an ethical way to help. It's like to help each of us. And there is enough on the planet for everybody. The problem is that since the beginning of the industrialized era, just minority is holding all the resources. And not only I'm thinking about the resources as they are exploited, that is not really, really nice, but also the resources that some want us to believe that there is not enough to feed everybody on the planet, but it's untrue. More than 30 years ago, has been done some experiences with fruits and vegetables in Findorn, and being conscious, really in contact with these fruits and vegetables, they got enormous fruits and vegetables. They can be 3-4 times bigger than the one, and especially the GMO, that are totally modified, and they cannot amplify. If you put your consciousness to them, this GMO thing cannot amplify themselves like does the natural seeds that has been planted in Findorn and gives amazing. I engage you to go online and check about Findorn, and you will be amazed. And this shows that if everybody was putting consciousness in gardening that way, there is much more than enough for all the beings on the planet to be fed. It can seem utopic, but if we don't go towards something like that, sure, we are really on the decline. So now we are really on the hinge. Or we take, we go back to connect to our inner power as nature and to work with it and to work with the one of nature as well, or it's done. It cannot be anymore, because you see where it brought us. We can see where all this brought us. So it's for that I think the educational, I cannot even speak, system is not adapted anymore to the evolution of human being. It shows failures. Something is missing. What is missing is the connection of the wholeness, the globality of our place as human on the planet, like cells in a body, working together, adapting our frequency to the one of the planet. If we pollute, if we bring chemicals, if that it's be on the planet, or in our bodies, it's not working because the flow of life cannot flow naturally. And especially now, where we have all this energy very strong from the cosmos to make, the planet be able to ascend, and us on it, on her, if we pollute our body with chemicals or heavy metals or anything like that, it will be very, very difficult, especially with the technology that is now. So it's that, we have to take the thing in its wholeness. And when you do that, you realize that everything is in perfect order, everything is at the right place, everything is part of the evolution of the human race. Now it's up to us, or to stay on old paradigm, or to Bart's desire and the idea to create something new that is already there somewhere, because it's part of the process of evolution. So this is what I wanted to share with you, and I feel a lot of fear in my followers, and they ask me, what can I do? What we gonna do? Be patient. Be patient, but this doesn't mean don't do anything. Be patient means also observe, connect the link, get online, go and educate yourself. Before yesterday, I saw something that really blew my mind online. It's there. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's on the website of the World Economic Forum. And when you go there, there is a little section. I forgot I should prepare it to show you. I'm going to try on my iPad. There is a little section. When you click on that, you have a lot of things, about, what is going on now, the C19 and all these things, and you click on that. And when you click on that, it's blow your mind. It's blowing your mind. So I'm going to try to show you, and you can spend hours reading there. I spend quite a lot of time. And what is impressive is that you click on the first thing, it brings you on another level. And each section, it's like an eye, a circle with sections. And each section you click on and bring you to something else. And again, and again, and again. And you're going to discover there things that has been thought since a long time. So this C19 is the gate and the tool for the change. It's like a key. And everything this is on the World Economic Forum. And what C19 is doing there. So you have in mind that any time you're going to click on something that is there, it's linked to that first thing, to this first central rectangle with C. So let me try to find this for you. I'm going to check. I'm going to check that. I think I'm going to be able to. My iPad has to be updated because it's a little bit slow. It's an old one. Maybe here. I just would love to show you how it is. You will find it. Yeah, should prepare that before. I'm sorry about that. Where am I gonna find this? It's not the same as on my computer here. Maybe here. Yes. So you go on the website of the World Economic Forum. I'm gonna open the window. World Economic Forum. So it's a little bit. So you're gonna arrive on this page. When you are there, you go on the little lines that are here. You click on that. And you go, it's reverted, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you. You go down on platforms. When you arrive on platform, you have all these. So you click on the first one here. And when you arrive there, you go, you scroll up to the bottom, and you're going to arrive on that. So it's inverted, but it's easy to find. So you arrive on that, and you click in the middle here. Let's see. Because it depends when it's on the computer and on, it's easier on a computer. So I had to go on embedded, so I clicked on that. Normally you are obliged to register, but let's see. I cannot access here. I can access on my computer, but I cannot access on my iPad. It's the same on the phone. But when you go, as the path I show you, you go on this thing. And when you click here, you're going to see a lot of things coming. You see all the little section around and the dot around. Everything is connected to another layer, another layer, another layer, another layer. This is going to blow your mind what you're going to discover there. So this forces that some people say of opposition, in fact, they are the necessary condition for the change of human race. People say, why did I choose to come in this era? Why did we choose that? It's really like an amazing time to be. It's not easy, it's challenging, but can you imagine what is going on, what we are experimenting and what we are participating for the big change? When I think about all that, I cannot not relay with what I read in the 80s. I've been directed by inside again. It was no internet at that time. To read, I've been, my higher self, inner guide directed me to one book or another, and I was directed to read the books of Meir and Satprem and Sri Aurobindo, and with the supramental. And this is what is going on. We are in a way to discover how to be connected to supramental, beyond the mental. And for that, the key is the body. I experiment with this breathing technique that I'm doing. And it's really fascinating, because if I am putting my attention on the feeling, the sensorial feeling, the feeling in my body, in my flesh, if I stay on the feeling and I really present to that and I enjoy that, I disconnect from the mental. And it's like touching a point where there is no time and space. It's like a still point. And this can last forever. I experimented that. I stay like 2 hours and I could stay much more. And it's wonderful. So, and by that I started to be directed inside toward things that I thought I forgot. And like this, with things that happen in my life that I was living like 50 years ago, details, I can see that things were already there, but I could not see them. So now I can even do more and more links, linking things together. And it's the meaning of yoga. Yoga means union, and it's union in between the physical body and the space around, and consciousness. Where is located consciousness? I try to find that, third eye, back of the eye, where is the one that is seeing? When I open my eyes and I see, who is seeing? What is this? How do I see? How I'm present to see? I was reading a beautiful sentence, I think it's Chateaubriand in France, who said that we become what we contemplate. And me, I love to contemplate nature and flowers and the water and the sun and the sky. And so if we become what we contemplate, by contemplating this, it's for that being in nature is very powerful. We are more and more connected to nature law. We vibrate on the same frequency, and we can follow the ascension of the planet because we are connected to the frequency of nature. It's difficult sometimes. I have no pain in my body since a long time, but this weekend I had terrible pain in my body. And I was like, wow, suddenly I have not done anything. What is going on? And I relate with what this portal of the 8/8. That was also the 50th birthday of my young sister. That has been something really, the venue of my young sister has been something really important. Maybe someone knows. It has been also the subject of this book that I did with pictures, Au-delà, Beyond Surfaces. And it was my first approach with prayer, but not in a way, please, 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 no, in a way like desire. This has to be. Like, is it because I was so determined inside that this baby was supposed to be aborted, finally I have not? Or it's just because it was already there that she will be not, and I caught it. And we work all together with the one that is desiring, because the situation is unbearable, and by that unbearability we desire something else. And maybe if our desire is so strong, we create another field of consciousness, and this consciousness can come in the physical realm. So this has been, I was 14, and it has been, I think, one of my first strong experience of the mind and connected to spirit. I realized that I had others when I was younger, but sure, I was not aware of that. But I was seeing the magical in things, the magic. And this never quit me, because it's really magic. We live I always say that, but we live the most amazing science fiction movie right there in our bodies. So it's that, there are basic, simple things. You cannot, and you see it in nature, you cannot have an healthy land if you put poison on it. Now I see, I'm very happy in Malibu, there are, incentives to stop, to put desherbant, the chemical to take off the weeds, because to take care of wildlife. And this is wonderful. And it's that. We, putting chemicals, we destroy the ecosystem. But it's been the planet, or us, because we are made at the image of the planet. We are cells, like our cells, in our body, and we are cells of this big organism, natural, alive organism. And if we pollute the environment, things cannot work. We unbalance that. So if we pollute our body with chemicals, it cannot work. Why are there so many people being sick in this country, supposed to be developed country? Because there is not really a lot of connection with natural simple things. Too much processed food, too much drugs, too much electric. I see, I am on that road where few houses are, occupied. People comes only for the weekend or maybe 1 week during the year, and it's enlightened all night. All this power could be, made to something else. And this destroy also wildlife. Here in Malibu, we have also a rule that after 11 p.m., it's not possible to have light that are above, I don't know the frequency, the luminance, but it's forbidden because of the wildlife. And it's known that it's better, we can be in better balance if we sleep in a black room than with light, and especially with a lot of electric interferences. So it's that, it is going back to something natural and to basics. It's what we are obliged to do now. So it's a good thing. And a lot of people discover themselves, don't want to go back to their life of before. They don't care about, going to restaurant or movies, because it's true, we have also computer and we can watch movies online. And we can cook, learn. Also online, you have a lot of, things to learn how to cook. When I don't know something, I go on YouTube and I search and I found things and I get inspired. It's very simple now. We have amazing tools, so we have to use them properly. And voila, this is what I wanted to share with you. So don't be in a weary state. Don't go down on weariness, but see this as an opportunity that we created up to where we are now, to be able to go on something else, more aligned with nature law that we are made, that we are from, So I'm gonna check if I have some question. I also forgot that I launches badges if you want to collaborate for the orphanage a little bit. It's welcome. I'm raising money for the orphanage. They are in big need because it's very difficult in Nepal. I see to get my my order, it took 3 months to get my order of yak, and I have not everything. I just started to get them. So if you see them and want them, I have only 10 pieces, so you have to act fast because I don't know when I'm gonna get the new ones. I order the print, I don't know when I'm gonna get them. And it's very, very difficult. So it's for that the situation is quite not easy for a lot of people around the world. So I don't see question. I wanted also to tell that miracles are arriving, you know. I'm doing in English this time, so I cannot go on the French. I will do the same thing in French. Yeah, miracles are arriving. You know, as I know that the situation is very hard, I'm going to give you an example. And from last week, it's very amazing. I know the situation is very hard in Nepal, and I cannot help them as I was helping them some months ago because I don't have the same rhythm of sales in the shawls. So I put in place something monetizing my YouTube, and I collect some money there for the orphanage. I'm very happy. Some people did not enjoy because they are advertising on my video, but I try to put them in a way that they are skippable or that they are before or after. And it's always money for them. But as I was like, how am I going to do? I cannot send as much as I was sending some months ago. How am I going to do? Oh, it could be nice. It's like I speak to the universe. It could be nice if I could get some connections with people who are helping, people who are, and you will not get. You will not guess. I was like amazed. Maybe 2 days after, I received an email from a woman that is living in Malibu. Actually, she lost her house in the fire in 2018, and her house is being rebuilt. And she contacted me because she heard about me and what I was doing by friends. And she said, I'm interested about the shawl, but you know, I'm also someone who is giving grants for charity. And if your orphanage that you support has a certain code of charity statute, I could help them. You cannot believe it. I was like, and she said, for this year it's done. We gave all the grant, but for next year we can work together. And you cannot imagine the joy. I'm gonna cry because, and she said, but I will make a donation myself. And she did. And a big donation. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Full of gratitude. But for that, I had to see myself without power. I have to ask because I saw I could not do like I was used to do. So I had to ask the universe, help. And it works. So it's that. When you are connected to something that is really important for you, really dear to you, ask with your heart, trust. If your children are not okay with what the policy to go to school, don't send them. Don't send them because deep inside, they may know that it's not the right thing for them. But beyond that, maybe there is something at work. That is because this generation gonna create new ways and gonna learn differently. You know, so it's that. Trust the process. Be with the present moment. There's no hurry. Try to get back your money if you paid the school already, because you don't want them to be suffocating with a mask all day long, to breathe their own waste, their own toxins, simply, you know. It's not healthy. And if they don't want to have chemicals in their body, it's clear. They know, their higher intelligence knows, their higher self knows. And let you be surprised by the new, by the unknown. Be curious. Ask. go online. They are passionate about something, they go online, they read books, they see movies, documentaries, they educate themselves differently. Now it's more than ever it's possible. They can go with groups, with institutes that are teaching online, that are giving another knowledge, wider, with a broader spectrum. So for that, you have to use the tool properly of the internet. And there is everything there. And if you don't find on Safari, you go on other, server. I don't know the other one, but DuckDuck or this kind of thing, where you're going to find maybe more specific things. But this is an opportunity for that. And I saw one of my followers' friends that's going to be here soon, and she showed me a picture of her and her son who doesn't want to be there in this condition, and he's so full of light. And sure, the higher self don't want that light to be switched off, because this is what is happening. When you put chemicals in the body, it's difficult to be connected to the soul, because it works very deep on the DNA. And our DNA is made of human DNA, but also divine essence. So it's cutting us from the divine and from the ability to be to that source and to be taught by inside. And it's that, it's another way now. This era that is opening is about how to use our mind connected to spirit. And it's very powerful. So I thank you very much. I'm going to check again if I have some question, but I'm going to close now. Yes, why we go to the old evil? It's that. You see all these people that study in this university, famous university, that are now at governments, with the mess that it is. Who wants that? Who want to go to learn what they taught? Apparently it brought us here. Why are we going to perpetuate that? We have to find new ways. For me, it's simple as that, Yeah, it's that. There is enough for everybody to eat without to stop hunger. And the funny thing is that, and this has always been difficult for me as French, it's anger and anger and hunger. And in a way, it brought, if you are hungry, you can have hunger to the one who doesn't make you able to feed yourself. But this is my way too. How you deal? I deal with stress. I'm not in the same situation than you. 4 children, 12, 9, 6. My goodness. And twins. It's very difficult. I think the best is to keep them with you as much as possible. You will cut a big source of stress sending them to school. It can seem easy for me to say that because mine are grown, but it's what I would do. It's what I did actually. They were at school, but I was at home. I was not working when I had my kids. I was working differently. I was, knitting, selling my sweaters, doing interior design for friends. When they were at school, I was going to make interior design. I did differently, but I was there. And this is very, very important. But try to connect with communities. There are more and more communities of parents that are starting to develop things to do school, homeschooling in little communities. Try to find this. Maybe go to next door application. Maybe you can find something in your location that way. Maybe it's a possibility. Maybe bring them to see, nice documentaries all together. Engage discussion with them. Make them writing about it. Do a dissertation about what they saw. Develop maybe their skills like that with the tool we have, with this powerful tool that we have as the internet. Maybe it's a way to use it differently. It's going to bring more peace because you will not have the stress of bringing them there, and maybe you can do this with a range of their friends. Maybe make it more ludic, more playful, and cooking together and seeding the garden together. And if it's not a garden, you can have just seeds in a bowl and see how they grow, and make them searching online about these plants and how their properties and all that. Maybe it's more toward that, because this will be more like a natural process in a natural environment of nature as we are. So maybe something like that. And it's the only thing I see. And it's a big change. And yes, it can take time, but it can be fast as well. I have one of my friends in Corsica. She was not doing gardening at all, and in less than a year she became like, wow, amazing in permaculture, because she put her interest that, because she documented herself, because she did workshops. And you can do this with children. They love it. Children love to be in the garden. They love to see the fruits and vegetables growing. I did that when I was a little girl with my grandfather. It was a treat for me. It was fantastic. And what I said to my friend where I get the eggs, because they have this amazing chicken, and I say, every time I go and I pick the eggs myself in my little basket, I connect back to when I was a little girl. It was my task every day to go and look for the eggs. And I was so proud. I was, 4 years old? And I was proud to do that. And it was magical to search for the eggs, because it was not a den like this modern one. It was an old ruin of chapel, and the chicken were inside. And I was searching where it was straw or thing for the eggs. So it's that. Make it playful, make it ludic, make it like a miracle. It's a miracle, one egg. Yeah. And a plant that is growing, it's miraculous. Yeah, it's true. But I think one thing about the slave system you are speaking about, I think one thing important right now to have in mind, it's to decide inside to don't consider yourself as a slave. And this changes the whole thing, because you will not put yourself in a position of victim. And when you do that, you raise your frequency. And when you raise your frequency, things can come. You can get information from the subtle consciousness that is there, available for everybody. But if you put yourself in a position of victim, already you lower your frequency and you stay at that level. And this subtle information cannot come to you. Suddenly you can have, wow. And it can be a shift of in 1 second. It's you decide inside to don't be on this mindset anymore, to don't consider yourself like that. But maybe this was the condition up to now, right now, for you to change, to see that you can change that with your mind. and by that raising your frequency. This doesn't mean that you will not have to do what you have to do, but you're going to do it on a different level of vibration. And this different level going to bring other things in your life. Is to stay there, it's going to be there, connected to things up there. If you raise, it's going to be now connected to that. It's for that. Reality of life is different for people. People who has absolutely no clue about how function their body and their interaction with their spirit, they cannot understand you. And they cannot conceive what you are speaking about, healthy terrain and no chemicals in the body, because they are on that. And it's normal for them, it's great for them, because we have to have all these differences to make evolve the whole thing, to be part of this global evolution, mutation of the human species. So, yeah, there are a lot of things. There are a lot. Exactly, we could have all free energy. But can you imagine all these big corporates, the money they're going to lose? And it's there. You know, the most amazing thing for me in this country is to see the car Tesla, with the name Tesla, but in fact has nothing to do with free energy. Because all this, production, and now I just learned recently that Bill Gates and I don't know, 2 other people invested a lot of money to do to how you say, to collect minerals, special minerals in Greenland, and to make electric battery. So you see, it's like, and after it's going to be an electric car. It's something I don't understand why it's called Tesla, and Tesla was free energy without this digging thing and without all this. But there is no profit from that. My beautiful necklace. I just made it. It will be for sale soon. I am like starting to see which one and this one will be for sale soon. And you can wear it with that or without. It's with or without. And it can be nice when you hang it somewhere as well. Yeah, when you start to be in yoga, meaning being in union with here and there, and you see all these events, it's part of exactly the same system to be where we are today. And what is important is to try to take distance with this 911 and all that thing, to try to take distance and see all what this has created in positive in life for human, to make people more connected, moved in their heart, having compassion, helping others. And it's that, when we are on that, these terrible things develop that. You have more and more people that are connected together, that are helping each other, supporting each other, mentally, spiritually, physically as well. So this is the beauty of that. And it's amazing that we are obliged to arrive to that, to do that. Like, it's like what happened last year. It was, it was a wake-up call to stop the frenzy where we were. And it's that, for me, the meaning of that, it's that. It's a wake-up call for once, people all around the planet are shocked and obliged to face themselves and to decide what is right for them. But maybe they never thought about that. They were taken in a kind of spiral, you know, and most of the people never thought about that. And now a lot of people want to be back to their life before, and they do what they have to do to be back to their life before. It's their choice. No, I don't see angel colors, but I see angels in plants, in flowers, in bees, in beautiful fabric, in natural around, and shells and bones, and I see beauty in all this, you know, organic material. I see angels there. Oh my goodness, Ireland. Oh, I'm watching a beautiful series about Ireland. No, it's not Ireland, it's Scotland, I'm sorry. But it's up there, you know. It is Outlander. I'm not really watching series, but I'm starting to see which one, and she goes to stones and she's transported in another time, and she's living experiences 200 years before. And so I'm in that. So it's this part of the world that I would love to visit. I would love to visit Ireland. You know, I speak about aging in a lot of my videos. So if you check my previous video, I speak about that. Hours of that. Yes, it's wonderful for the orphanage. I'm so grateful to Sonia. Really, 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 really. And to the universe. But we are all connected, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna let you... because it's a long time now, and there are a lot of things to think about. If you can go on this World Economic Forum, I was telling you, you're going to discover things there, and you're going to start to see that all this was, it's not a conspiracy, but was really, really well orchestrated, and it's scientific intelligence linked to economic. The economic, you know, the World Economic Forum means what it means, you know. So try to check on that. And I'm also doing a highlight with connection with some discussion or things like that. I was thinking about that. I really don't know how to use Telegram, so it's very difficult for me. I have to check about that as well, because I could post on Telegram all these things that I think that can be of interest. Not to take everything for granted, but just to listen and say, oh, this resonates like that to me. Oh, yeah, me too, I see things like that. Or, oh, I never thought about that. You know, it's just to connect more and more. And you know, I don't want to speak, you know, I want to stop, but I can't when I see something like that. When I read something or I hear about evil beast system, I don't want even to go there. For me, it's forces. Like in physical, you know, it's forces in physics. And they are at work together. And how can we find a balance? And this starts by each of us to change our mindset. I don't speak about evil beast system. You never hear me to say that. Because telling that, for me, it's already giving energy to that system. So I avoid that. It's a forces, I can say, of opposition, but they are playing something in the wholeness to bring us to the next level evolution of human race. And this we have to use our brain, our mind, but not in a negative mental, but in a positive way. If you step back and see these forces at work, you can decide to give your energy to that or that. And by the words you use, you already give energy to that or to that. And me, I don't use the word fear, evil, scared, worried, all these things, and more that I will not mention here. But I don't use these because this will lower my frequency. I don't want to feed these things. So it's also another way to shift, and if everybody does that, these forces will have less power. It can seem like, oh, it's so crazy, but it's very effective. Try to do for yourself first, and you will see. Because it's going to oblige you to step back, and you're going to be more free. And you're going to be more in touch with your inner power, not be under the power you give to these forces by mentioning them like that. So, and you're going to find other words to describe what you feel, what you see, and you're going to be taught by the consciousness that is this thing where we are all in a bath of consciousness, collective consciousness. You're going to receive other information because you're going to vibrate to another frequency, not the one of evil and fear and that. You're going to vibrate to a higher one, and you're going to get information at another level, and you're going to see things differently, and you're going to find new ways. It's for me, I'm 65, almost 66, and it's the experience of a whole life. So everybody came here to have the experience, but maybe I can bring, by witnessing about my way to think, that is not true, the perfect truth, it's my way, because people ask me about my way to be, to think, and all that. By expressing as much as I can, because it's not easy, my way to see, to feel, and all that, maybe I can open the door to other options for people that never thought about them, and maybe they're going to discover after their own other options. It's not take what I say the truth, but try to see how what I say is resonating you, and let you direct it to something that is making like a small click inside a switch in you, for you, at your way. And this is wonderful. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's going to be too long. I hope I'm going to be able to save this video. I thank you very much. I will come back. I will try to do the same speech about what I just spoke. So many things in French soon, like that. French people will be also happy, I hope. So I thank you very much. I wish you a good Sunday, and much love to you. Bye-bye.